Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another Sunday meal prep video. I am super excited to bring you these meals today. I'm trying one new meal. I don't have a recipe printed out for it. I got it from Molly Bailey. She has a YouTube channel and she does a lot of like meal preps and what I eat in a day, and you can get some good ideas from her. But I just had to like jot the recipe down because I don't know if it's one that she just kind of made up or what. But anyway, so I just kind of have like the recipe written down, and I will probably have to refer back to her video while I'm making it. But it is kind of a chicken parmesan bake, and then she boils some pasta, adds some marinara sauce in there. So it's going to be like a chicken parmesan pasta, and then I'm going to make some of my garlic rolls to go along with that. And then for our repeat meal, Mr. Charlie picked out his favorite taco soup, and with that we will also have the corn muffins. And then again, I'm going to make my chocolate cookies for dessert this week. I'm back on my chocolate cookie kick, so those are the meals. I will also prep my breakfast and fruit, things like that for the week. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below and like this video. It really helps out my channel. And if you haven't followed me over on Instagram yet, I will leave my Instagram handle for you here on the screen as well. And then I also have a really great Facebook group that I co-admin with Roy from Recipes with Roy and Bree with Balancing Life with Bree, and it is called Finding Our Way. This is the icon to that group. There is a direct link down in the description box to that Facebook group. Also, speaking of the description box, I will have all of the recipes either typed out or linked. Well, I guess typed out because I'm not going to have a link for her recipe. Maybe I'll link her YouTube channel or something if you want to go see the way that she made it. I am making a couple of modifications from the way that she made it, but generally it will be pretty much the same. And then I'll have a link to my WW app recipe so that you can just import it into your WW app for your personal points. And then, of course, I always provide all the information, so whatever app you use, whatever tool, if it's counting macros, counting calories, if it's counting bites, whatever, you can always enter the information in there, create your own recipe. It usually only takes a few minutes, and then you can save it and have it in there forever. So, with all that being said, let's just get right into the video. Alright, we are getting ready to start the prep for the day. This is what Charlie is going to prep for me. So we have the chicken breasts over here, 3 of them he is going to cut up for the chicken parmesan bake thing that I'm going to make. And then 2 of them will be for the taco soup, and we are going to have to pull 1 out of the freezer because I always like to put 3 chicken breasts in the taco soup. I always think the more protein I can add, then the more filling it is. So again, don't be afraid to eat your protein. It's good for you. And then we have 5 bell peppers here. 1 of them is going to be for the chicken parmesan, and then the other 4 we are just going to dice up as normal. And then of course I have my 2 pineapple, my cantaloupe, and my blueberries, and then a tomato. The tomato has a couple of little bad spots on it, but it seems pretty ripe. I think that most of it will be good, and it will make do for my sandwiches for the week. I don't know how many times I'm going into the office this week, but I know at least 2 or 3 days. So I will probably just take sandwiches for those days. I did buy just like a small pack of like the Kroger Private Selection turkey breast to try to see how I like it compared to the boar's head, because the boar's head is extremely expensive. So nope, Nico, get away. Here comes the little food inspector. Say good morning to everybody. Yeah, I love you. You're a good boy. He just wants to touch the chicken, y'all. Stop it, Nico. I'm going to put the chicken back in the fridge. Alright, so this is all of Charlie's prep for the day. Hopefully today will be a fairly easy prep. We've got this. Well, we've got the taco soup to make. The chicken parmesan pasta thing I think will take me a little bit of time because I've never made it before. And then my chocolate cookies, and then of course I always prep my breakfast as well. So with that being said, we will roll into Charlie's prep. Say, keep watching. Tell him, Nico. Say bye, y'all. I love you. Okay, let's roll into his prep now.
You got that something, baby, that I can go without, just like a poison in me. You're all that I'm about. Loving the highs, don't mind the lows. It's getting out of my control. I want that something, baby, 'cause I can go without.
Alrighty, so first thing we are going to start on is the taco soup. I do have my 3 chicken breasts that I have just put in the crock pot, and all I've done is put salt and pepper on them. And then I'm pretty much just going to dump everything else in there. I did order from Kroger, and I didn't realize that it was not included in the order until just now. I normally use just one of those 28-ounce cans of the original Rotel, but they didn't put it in there. But luckily, since, you know, I like to buy excess of everything, I did have 3 cans of Rotel. So I'm going to use 2 cans of fire roasted and 1 can of original. And then I am going to use 2 cans of black beans that I will drain and rinse. Probably about half of this bag of frozen corn. I'm going to use 1 packet of hot and spicy taco seasoning, 1 packet of original, some chili powder, and some ground cumin, and then some chicken broth. And I'm going to throw that together real quick because that needs to start cooking. This will probably be our dinner tonight, and it needs to cook for most of the day. So let me get all of my cans open, my beans drained and rinsed, and then we will throw it all in the crock pot. Okay, I am ready to put everything in here now. So I'm going to go ahead and add in both packets of the taco seasoning. Again, you don't have to put both. You can just do 1 packet, but y'all know we like everything a little bit spicy. And I try to even it out with a little bit of original as well. My recipe for taco soup does come out to a point per serving because of the seasoning. So you could probably have a 0 point soup if beans and if corn is 0 for you if you just used 1 packet. I'm also going to go in with some chili powder, and not too much, especially since I'm using the fire roasted Rotel. And some ground cumin. If you know me, I love these in almost everything that I make, and it just adds that extra little kick in there that we like. And then I have my beans. I drained and rinsed both cans of beans. I'm going to add those in. There's really no particular order to this, just whichever you want to add first. And then we're going to go in with the Rotel. So here's the 1 can of original, 1 can of fire roasted, and the 2nd can of fire roasted. And we normally do like a 10-ounce bag of corn. This is like a 32-ounce bag, so I'm just going to put however much in there that I feel like putting. Again, corn is 0 for me. That's probably plenty. If corn is not 0 for you, then you definitely want to measure that out. And then we are just going to top it off with the chicken broth, and I probably will go ahead and put this whole thing in. My battery's gonna die too, of course, but it'll seem like a lot of liquid, but once I shred up the chicken and stuff later, that does kind of absorb the liquid, and we want it to be soupy enough but not overly soupy. And that is pretty much it. That is everything. I'm going to give it a little stir. I'm just going to put it on high and just pretty much let it cook for the rest of the day. For about 6 hours is how much I like for it to typically cook. So we'll just be back and check on it later towards the end of the meal prep. Alright guys, I am ready to put together my fruit bowls. I have my cantaloupe, pineapple, and blueberries. I do have just a few grapes left that I'm going to try to put in 1 or 2 containers to eat first this week. And just a few chunks of pineapple left out of the small container that I got last week. So I'm probably going to put those together in the first bowls. Well, maybe not. I'll do 1 bowl out of the normal stuff. So I'm just going to divide the cantaloupe and the pineapple and the blueberries. I don't exactly measure out my fruit because it is 0 points for me. I just divide it equally. If you are counting fruit, obviously you would want to probably weigh it or whatever, but I don't worry about that since it is 0 points. So again, I'm going to make up 7 containers of fruit and then do 7 containers of the Chobani non-fat Greek yogurt to dip it in, and we will be back and show you the finished product. Alright, so I have all of my fruit bowls done, my yogurt bowls. This is the tomato that Charlie sliced for me, and then the diced peppers. All of the fruit bowls are the same except for 1, and it has the rest of the leftover grapes and the old pineapple, so I know that I'm going to eat this one tomorrow and finish that off, and then the other 6 are all of the fresh pineapple with the blueberries and everything, and the cantaloupe. And this one has cantaloupe in it as well, but It's the only one with the grapes in it, so that's why I know the difference. Anyway, I'm going to put all of this up. We're going to go ahead and put the corn muffins in the oven so that they can start cooking while we put together the chicken for the Parmesan chicken bake that we're going to do. Okay guys, I'm ready to make the corn muffins. I'm going to use the Martha White hot rise self-rising cornmeal. You can use any self-rising cornmeal for this. I'm going to use 1.5 cups, which I've already measured out here. We're going to put that in. This recipe is so easy for the corn muffins. And then I have 2 cans of cream style corn that I've already opened. I'm basically going to use 1.5 cans. I want 21 ounces to be exact. Cream style corn is not 0 point, so it is something that I do measure. So we will just go ahead and put 1 can in, which that's going to be 14.10 ounces, and we just need 21. There we go, 21 ounces. And then we are going to go in with 3 tablespoons of egg whites, and that is it. Let's see here, there's 1, 2, 3. So that's it, just 3 ingredients for these corn muffins. I'm going to mix this well. Okay, so that is mixed well. Now we are ready to divide it into the 12 muffins. I already have my muffin tin sprayed, and we are just going to use our little ice cream scoop to scoop it out. Okay, and here they are. They are ready to go in the oven, 400 degrees for 15 to 17 minutes is what I'm going to bake mine at. Okay, so I just pulled the corn muffins out of the oven. They are looking good. They are nice and hot. So we're just going to let these cool, and then I will just store these in a container in the refrigerator. We each will have 2 of them on the nights that we have them, and they are 3 points each. So it ended up to be a total of like a 7-point meal paired with the chicken taco soup. Alrighty everyone, we are ready to get started on this chicken Parmesan. And I literally just have it like scribbled down in a notebook here where I got it off of Molly Bailey's YouTube video. And it seems pretty simple. Basically, we have the chicken in here. We're going to season it up good, put it in this baking dish, cover it with some Chobani non-fat Greek yogurt and some Italian style breadcrumbs. And then this over here is basically for the pasta. We're going to saute up the peppers and get those softened up. And then we'll boil the rotini noodles and add in probably all of the tomatoes and a little bit of the marinara sauce, and then we will put some of the marinara sauce. And I got this Rao's, which luckily it was on sale at Kroger this week, so it was a little cheaper than normal. So yeah, let's just get right into it. On the spices, I have already decided to measure out because she didn't measure anything. I usually don't measure my spices either, but I know some people want specific measurements. So I basically did a tablespoon of all of these. And so I did a tablespoon of garlic powder, Italian seasoning. She used a Frank's Red Hot seasoning. They did not have that at Kroger, so I just got this Nashville hot chicken seasoning. I used a tablespoon of that. I did use a little bit less than a tablespoon of red pepper flakes just because those can be pretty spicy. And then I used a tablespoon of paprika and maybe a little less than a tablespoon of the cayenne pepper. And then there is also some black pepper mixed in there, which I didn't really measure that out. I did salt and pepper the chicken as well. So we're going to put a little bit of lemon juice in there. She just kind of squeezed some in. I'm just going to kind of play it by ear. Mix all the seasonings in. We're literally going to kind of rub it in with our hands and then put it in the baking dish. Now she did put olive oil in hers. I'm just going to spray mine with the extra virgin olive oil spray. So let me get everything kind of set up. And we'll get the chicken ready to go in the oven. It has to bake 375 for about an hour is what she did. And then she actually put hers under the broiler for a couple of minutes to kind of brown the tops of it. It looked really good and crispy, so I'm hoping that it turns out like hers did because it looked good. And then the peppers and the pasta sauce and everything we'll kind of do separately. And then we'll just plate it up with the pasta on the bottom and the chicken on the top, and then cover it with some marinara sauce. And also we're going to sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on it. So let's get started. Okay, we are ready to get started on the chicken. Again, I have it here. I'm just going to squeeze some lemon juice on there. She didn't really measure that. I'm not sure how much I'm going to use, but I don't think it really matters. It's really just to kind of help keep the chicken a little moist. So that's probably enough there. And then we are going to go in with all of the seasonings that I just discussed that are here in this bowl, which is quite a bit of seasoning, but we are going to massage it around on all the chicken breasts so that they're all nicely covered. So what Charlie did on this chicken was he just took 3 chicken breasts and sliced them in half to kind of make them like chicken cutlets. So basically each night we will have half of a chicken breast as our serving, which a chicken is 0 points, so I wasn't sure how he was going to cut it or whatever, if he was going to cut it into like little chicken strips or what. If you go and watch Molly's video, hers kind of looks like chicken strips and smaller pieces, but for ease for us, because I don't like to buy those chicken tenderloins, I just prefer to buy the full breast, and then we just cut it the way that we want it. I think that is looking pretty good and coated. Of course, my hand is nice and coated too. I probably should have took that ring off, but it's all right. We're gonna wash up. So we are gonna place these in. Hopefully they will all fit. See, these are some big chicken breasts. We're squishing them in there though. Just any extra seasoning, I'm just gonna pat on there. Let me wash my hands. Whoops, you can't even see, sorry. There they are. Any extra seasonings, I'm just gonna kind of pat on there that's left in the bowl. And then let me get my yogurt ready and we will put that on. Let me wash my hands. Okay, so for the yogurt, I have 1 cup of the Chobani non-fat Greek yogurt in here. And then what I did was just sprinkled a little bit of all of these seasonings in there. I did not put any of the red pepper flakes in the yogurt. Don't ask me why. But she just did that in her video. She just sprinkled a little bit in there so that her yogurt wouldn't be too plain. She also used like 3/4 of a cup of yogurt and then 1/4 of a cup of mayonnaise. I don't like mayonnaise. I don't want to waste the points on mayonnaise. The yogurt is 0 for me. So we are just using all yogurt. And then we're going to smother the tops of the chicken with it. And I'm hoping that 1 cup is enough. Okay, so there we go. We have it covered in the yogurt, and I know this may seem weird. It seems a little weird to me too, but the idea is to kind of keep the moisture in the chicken. It looked really good whenever she got it out of the oven, so I have high hopes. We have a lot of seasoning in there, so it's probably going to be really, really, really spicy. We shall see. Now we are going to take some Italian breadcrumbs. I'm going to try to see if I can do it with half of a cup, and if that's not enough, then we will go up to a cup. Okay, so we have half a cup of the Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. And we are just going to sprinkle these right on top. Oh yeah, half a cup is going to be perfect. She did kind of pat her breadcrumbs down into the yogurt a little bit. And that is it. We are going in the oven. She said for 45 minutes, but she ended up cooking hers for an hour. Y'all know I like everything well done. So we are just going to go ahead and go in for 1 hour. And then we will get started on the pasta and stuff as well. And then we're also going to make some garlic rolls to go with it. Alrighty guys, we are going to get started on our pasta. I'm just going to salt the water, bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to cook this whole bag of the Fiber Gourmet Light Rotini. This is, I think, 2 points per serving. And then once it is done, we will mix in some Hunt's diced tomatoes and some of the Rayo's sauce, and then once we plate it up and put the chicken on top and stuff, I'll save like half of this so that I can put a little bit of additional sauce on top of each plate. So we'll be back. I'm going to bring the water to a boil. Hopefully it won't take but a minute so that we can get this dish wrapped up. I've actually already cooked the chicken, which I put it on broil. I almost burned it. I'm going to show you. Like I started smelling something because I put it for like 3 minutes so that I wouldn't forget about it, and I was like, what is that smell? Yeah, don't broil it for 3 minutes, but I got it out in time, barely. But hopefully it will still be good. So all we need to do is finish up the pasta, and then we will be ready to plate up. Okay guys, I forgot that I need to saute up the peppers and get those softened. So I moved my water up here into this middle thing, which is almost to a boil, and then I will just let the noodles boil for 7 minutes. I'm going to just saute the diced peppers just like I do for my eggs. Spray some olive oil spray in there, and voila. We will just cook those until they are softened up. Her recipe actually uses onions and peppers, but y'all know we always leave the onions out. So we are just doing the 1 bell pepper in there. So I'm gonna soften these up, get my pasta boiling, and then we will come back once we mix it all together. Oops, sorry, you're out of focus. What's going on? Focus. Okay, so I'm gonna soften these up. The water is almost to a boil. I'm gonna boil the pasta for exactly 7 minutes, and then we will mix the peppers in there. I'm just gonna do 1 can of the Hunt's diced tomatoes and like half of the jar of marinara sauce into the rotini, and then save the rest, and I'm gonna put it on top of the chicken with some Parmesan cheese. All right, so our pasta is done. I'm just going to take it out and put it in this bowl, and then we're gonna mix the peppers and the sauce and everything in here, and then we will be ready to plate it up. I weighed the bowl. The bowl weighs 673 grams so that I can try to divide it equally. I usually eyeball everything, but if something has pasta, rice, potatoes, something like that, I will usually measure it just to make sure that it's fairly equal. Although I don't really worry about it being that perfect. Okay, so we have our pasta here. We are gonna add in the bell peppers. I'm gonna go ahead and add in 1 can of the Hunt's diced tomatoes with the basil, garlic, and oregano. And then we're gonna add about half of the marinara sauce, and then we will save the other half to put on top. And I may put a little Italian seasoning in here and some oregano and stuff as well. You can do whatever you want to with it. Of course, the chicken is heavily seasoned with all of the spicy seasonings, so I'm not going to put any more spicy stuff in here. We'll just go in with a little Italian seasoning and some oregano and some garlic powder. Okay, that's pretty much it. I am ready to plate up. I'm going to get everything set up, and then we will put the pasta in the bottom and then 1 piece of chicken on top. Top it with a little bit more of the marinara sauce and some Parmesan cheese. I'll probably just do like a tablespoon or so of Parmesan cheese on top of each one. Alright, I am ready to plate up my pasta. So what I did was I actually weighed this bowl before I put everything in it, and it's 693 grams. So I'm going to weigh this and then deduct 693 grams, and then I know how many grams to put into each container. So it's 1980. I'm going to take away 693. So we have 1287 grams divided by 6. So we're each going to get about 214 grams or so. So that's what I'm going to do. And we will just tear it out and take it out until it is just negative 214. Alright, there we go. We're negative 215 on that one. So that's going to be the amount of pasta we get. I'm going to go through and do that for each one.
There's no need to complicate things. Let's stick to the basics. We both know what we want. Let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We dance on the same wavelength. This feels like a new beginning. We both know what we want. Let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
So all of the pasta is divided equally. That to me is the easiest way to, just weigh something and then divide it if you want to try to divide something completely equally. And then these are 6 chicken cutlets in here, so we're each going to just get one of those. Chicken is spicy. Woo-wee, real spicy. Okay, so I have all 6 of them plated up. Now I'm just gonna take the marinara sauce and divide the rest of this over the top of the chicken. Probably just a couple of tablespoons each. Keep yourself thinking. Tonight, let go as a dreaming. I was feeling down. Okay, so we have the marinara sauce on there. Now we are just going to take some grated Parmesan cheese. Of course, you could use fresh if you wanted to. This is a half tablespoon, so that's what we will just put on each one. And then, of course, if you wanted more on the nights that we have it, you could always add a little bit extra Parmesan cheese on there. Okay, here are the completed containers of chicken Parmesan with the pasta underneath. It looks delicious. I tasted a bite of the chicken. It is very, very spicy. So we will see once we eat it and combine it with the noodles and everything else and the marinara sauce that I put on top of it. But the chicken itself, with all those spices in there, nice and hot, like we like it. So hopefully we enjoy this meal. Now let's make the garlic rolls to go along with it, and then the cookies, and then we will be done. Okay, I am ready to get started on the garlic rolls. I have 1.5 cups of self-rising flour in here, and to this I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, and then I'm just going to mix that well, and then we're going to add in 1 cup of the non-fat Chobani Greek yogurt. So let me mix the flour and the garlic well, and I just do that just to make sure that the garlic is kind of dispersed through the flour evenly. Alright, that looks pretty good. So we have 1 cup of the Chobani non-fat Greek yogurt measured out. I'm going to put that in, and then I'm basically just going to stir this until it's kind of crumbly, and then we're going to go in with our hands and knead the dough. Okay, that's about as much as I can stir it, so now I'm just going to finish kneading it together and form a nice little dough ball. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to wash my hands, and then we are going to weigh it to see how much each roll is going to be. Okay, so we are going to weigh this. So we have 491 grams. I have my phone here. So I'm going to divide that by 18 because I'm going to make 18 rolls. So they're going to be about 27 grams each. So that's what we are going to aim for. Between 27 and 28 it should equal out. And I'm just going to tear this out. And then my little trick is to use butter spray on the pan and on your hands. Let me move my phone out of the way. So I'm literally going to spray my hands with the butter spray, and then the dough won't stick as much. So it is tared out to 0, and we're going to take it out until it is negative 27. And that's what all of our little rolls are going to be. So I'm just going to do that until we have 18 of them.
I was just somebody longing for someone to hold me. It could be anybody, but you chose me somehow. Now I'm free.
Okay, so there we go. So we have 18 rolls. We are going to just take the butter spray now and spray the tops of them really well. And then we are going to sprinkle some garlic salt on top. Alright, there we go. We are going in the oven 350 degrees for 12 minutes. Then I will move it up to the top rack and broil it so that the tops will brown just for a minute or so. Alrighty, here are the garlic rolls fresh out of the oven. Looking and smelling delicious. This batch looks like they turned out really good today. Super excited to have these this week. Alright, I am ready to get started on my peanut butter chocolate protein cookies. We are going to use 1 scoop of the PE Science Select Chocolate Frosted Cupcake, or Frosted Chocolate Cupcake, I think is the name of it. I probably barely have a scoop left in here, and I am going to sift my dry ingredients like I did last week, because sometimes I have chunks of the baking powder, so that's not really a full scoop. So that's like half a scoop. I do have another one, of course. So we will just take half a scoop out of this one. There we go. And then we are going to use 1 scoop of the Matrix Peanut Butter Cookie Protein Powder. Both of these are linked in my Amazon store, which is linked down below in the description box if you would like to order it. So I'm going to use 1 scoop of that. I'm going to get my scale, and we are going to do 10 grams of the Hershey's Special Dark Cocoa. And then we are going to do 5 grams of the Jell-O sugar-free chocolate fudge pudding mix. And then I'm going to do 1 heaping tablespoon of baking powder. Okay, so I sifted that. I'm just going to stir it up really well. Then we're going to go in with half a can of the pumpkin puree. And there's 425 grams in here, so I'm going to do about 212 grams or so. And then I'm going to do about 150 grams or so of egg whites as well. Alright, that's 146. We'll stir and see how our consistency is. It's okay, I'm gonna put a dash more egg whites in there just to smooth it out a little bit. Okay, I think that is a good consistency. We are gonna go with that. We are gonna add in our 14 grams of the Lily's no sugar added dark chocolate baking chips. This is what the bag looks like. So we're gonna do 14 grams. And then we will mix these well, and they will be ready to scoop out into 12 cookies. Let me get my baking sheet and everything, kind of get this cleaned up, and we will get these ready to go in the oven as soon as the garlic rolls come out. All right, we are ready to spray our baking sheet. And then I'm just going to use my little cookie scoop and scoop these out into 12 cookies.
Thinking about you all the time, like crazy, knowing you're here by my side, and I was doing fine on my own, but baby, you make me a whole lot better. A whole lot better. A whole lot better. A whole lot better.
Okay, these are ready to go in the oven, 350 degrees for about 9 to 10 minutes. All right, guys, so I just came over here and shredded the chicken and the taco soup and put it back in. It is looking good. I think it is about ready. I'm gonna let it simmer just for a few more minutes, and then we will just plate this up. I probably won't film plating it up. We'll just scoop it out into the 6 containers, eyeballing it evenly as best as we can. Again, this comes out to 1 point for me. And then I have a little bit of chicken sitting here cooling because some people in this house start to freak out whenever I start to shred the chicken. Oh yeah, Nico's over here too. Everybody's waiting. Luna like loses her mind. Like she's going crazy for it. You want it, Luna? Luna, you want some chicken? Huh? You want some chicken? Yeah? Alright, I'm going to feed them a little bite of chicken and then plate up the soup, and then the cookies need to come out of the oven and we will be ready. Charlie is standing there waiting to not make any noise. What are you trying to do? Alright, here are the chocolate cookies. They literally just came out of the oven. They are nice and puffed up. Even Charlie was like, well, those are like extra puffy today. So they will again sink down and kind of flatten out, and I will store these in the refrigerator and then just heat them up for 30 seconds whenever I eat them. I usually have 3 for a serving for 2 points. Alright, we have finally finished everything for the day. It is 6:21 p.m. I really didn't get started cooking until after 2 o'clock, so I would say my average is about 4 hours, you know, to get everything completed. And I'm also doing my laundry while I'm doing this as well. So Sunday is like a full work day. But anywho, here we have my 7 containers of fruit. Again, that one is the one with the grapes that I will eat first tomorrow to eat up that. That is all of the old fruit. 7 containers of yogurt to go with that. Here is the Parmesan chicken. Underneath that is the rotini pasta, marinara sauce, a little more marinara sauce on top, and some Parmesan cheese. I have no idea what the points come out to on this. I have not plugged it into my recipe builder yet, but I will do that and it will be linked down below. And then here are the garlic rolls. Those are 1 point each. Love those. We will each have 3 of those each night along with the chicken parmesan. And then here is the lovely taco soup that Charlie requested. This is his favorite. If you have not tried taco soup, I highly recommend it. It's extremely filling. It's extremely low point, especially if beans and corn and chicken and all of that stuff is 0 points for you, then this is an extremely low point meal. We will have 2 corn muffins on the nights that we have this, and those are 3 points each, so that will be a 7 point dinner. And then I have cooked my scrambled eggs for the week for all 5 days, and my bacon as well. And then there are my cookies. I just put them in that container, store them in the fridge like that, and then, like I said, warm them up whenever I get ready to eat them. And so overall, I have completed another successful meal prep. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me for another Sunday meal prep. I think that we have a good one this week. I think our chicken is going to be nice and spicy. Hope that we like it. Hope it's not too spicy. Taco soup, you know, is always a winner. Charlie loves it. That was his request this week. And then of course I have my breakfast prep for the week and my fruit for my lunches. I will take sandwiches for my lunches to work. Here's Nico to make his appearance. I will take sandwiches on the days that I go into the office, which I know is going to be at least 2 or 3 days this week. And then the other days I will probably have my pizzas and stuff with my fruit. Nico, tell him you love him. Nico had to make his appearance again, didn't he? He's trying to slip up here. Alright. Thanks to all my Jennifer's Gems that make it all the way to the end. I really appreciate you guys. And if you haven't yet subscribed and you like this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below and the like button. It really helps out my channel. And I will see you all in the next video. Thanks guys. Love y'all.